Hi, this is Angela, and today I'm giving a little taster of Dance for Joy classes and how they help you connect with yourself and connect with others as well. So we're going to do a little bit of movement, which you can do on the chair or you can do standing or sitting, but we'll come to standing at the end. So just to begin with, we can just start to feel our inner connection in the dance, often when we close our eyes. So a lot of what Dance for Joy does, our classes, whether they're in person, which I'm starting May 2nd at Amera's Palace this Thursday, or online Mondays, 10 o'clock in Sydney, but that's 8 p.m. Eastern time in America, in the US. We start with feeling, how do we go inside to connect with ourselves? So often with dance, you can feel that your movements go out, but where are they coming from? And that's in Dance for Joy. Where do we connect to that self? What is that self? It's an ever-expanding self, and that will change in every moment, in every day, and every time in your life. Yourself is constantly in a process. So every time we come into the class, we start with a little connection to the inner self, and it may be just that feeling of the inner body that you have. So if you're joining in with the movement now, you can close your eyes and just feel what might be that inner self. Some people tell me they don't like this. They don't like to close their eyes. They don't like to feel inside. But for some of us, it might be a nice experience. So as you're going into yourself, we're just going to take our fingertips and imagine that you're using the fingertips to go inside yourself. And when you go inside with the fingertips, you're just imagining that you're going inside, wherever that inside goes. So with the music that we have now, this is some of the Sufi music from Adnan. So you can just feel the heart. So let's just imagine now that you're going in to feel that connection to the heart, whatever that means for you. And it will be different for all of us. So if you gently open your eyes, you can just see the fingertips. And I'm just using those fingertips to go deep inside into the heart as I close my eyes and just feel what that might be like. For some of us, we don't know what the heart is. We don't know what it feels like. But just even imagining and allowing your fingers to go into the heart, you can imagine that your heart is moving into the back part of your body as your fingers gently go in. And then as your fingers move away, your front heart is coming towards the fingers. So that's just the very beginning of feeling what could be your inner connection. And so now if we take the fingers out and gently open your eyes and feel like you're opening out into the space and feeling that reach into the side, you're just getting that sense of the inner heart expanding out. But come back in, feel the fingers coming back into the heart as you close your eyes and softly opening your eyes and expanding the fingers out to the side body, feeling that front heart center open. So you're closing your eyes as you go in with your fingers, imagining you're going into the self, and gently open the eyes and imagining you're reaching fingers wide and opening that front heart. So in the Sufi movement class, we start to begin to explore a lot of these gentle, soft movements, and then experience what that's like when we come into standing, where we start to just feel the fingers coming into the center and opening out into the space. And as some of you know, the Sufi movements just allow one hand to go down to the earth and the other hand to connect to the heavens. But in the center is this heart center. So for each of us, that heart center will feel different. It'll feel different each day. So in Dance for Joy, what we do is we start to bring aliveness to how we feel the circle of the arms that come from your heart center. So now if you're moving along with me, just feel your palms reaching out from your heart center into the space around you, and then coming to meet each other in front, like the fingers are coming into a circle. So I'm just going to show that circle for you, and we see it in a lot of dance forms. In that circle that's coming from your heart, you can allow that circle to move around the space. But how do we fill this circle up with what's inside of us? We have to use our imagination. So just now, with your own fingers mapping that circle of the heart, just imagine that you're using your own heart energy to just map a feeling of your own heart around your body. So if you had to dance with yourself with that space between the arms, that circle, as an extension of your own love for yourself or your own space for yourself, just feel it moving all around your body now, that circle. And you can even bring it into different levels. So you can bring it up and move into the space. You can even come into the chair, if you're in a chair, and just feel that circle creating a space around you, around your chest and your head area. And then with that circle, which I call the heart circle, you can allow it to actually take into movement. So you can come it all around your body and come into different movements with that sense of the space of your heart. And so for some of us, we might need more time to feel what you want to fill that heart space up with. So just notice, do you feel like you can connect to that space in the circle? What do you feel in your heart circle? You can just spend a few moments now just imagining that you want to fill this heart circle up with a color or with something beautiful. So just close your eyes, and you can be in movement or in on the chair or just still, and feel the fingers creating that heart circle, and just imagine that you're filling up that heart circle with whatever it is you want to receive. Could be a sense of safety, a sense of peace. Just spend a few moments now. What is it that you want to receive in that heart circle? And imagining an image or a feeling that you're receiving in that heart circle. And then when you feel like you've got an image or something, you can gently open your eyes and just start to feel that sense of that space there. So some of us might have a stronger sense of that there's something being in the space. And it doesn't matter what you feel. It's really just about practicing building that sense of connection. And then we start to build a sense of ourself, being able to give something to our own body or give something to the space that supports our body. And in the Sufi movement, we do a lot of these movements here to fill up this space with what basically is the void. We don't know what it is. It's the unknown. So sometimes if you don't know what's in that heart space, you can just open up to surrendering to whatever it could be that you could receive, and just allow your body to feel what is it that you would like to experience as the unknown, your relationship to it. And here in Dance for Joy, what we start to experience is that the space itself can be another container for you where you can begin to feel what is that possibility for you. Just even, I don't know what's in that heart space for me, but I'm just allowing myself to move and experience what could be in that space. So then, how do we invite somebody into a space? I work with a lot of people who want to bring in a relationship or want to develop a sense of connection with someone they're in relationship with. So in dance, when we're working with this space here, if you're doing couple dancing, you need to be able to have a clear shape that you're bringing your partner in, especially if you're leading in the dance. And even if you're not leading, if you're being led, if you're coming into somebody else's space, you need to have a sense of being able to clearly relate to somebody. So just for a moment, we're going to imagine how you might want to connect to someone stepping into your space. And it can be an imaginary person. It could be a cartoon character. It doesn't have to be a real person. So with your arms now, just imagine that you're going to invite someone into that space. So you can do this by either just coming into the space here and imagining you're moving into the space and coming back, feeling what it's like to welcome someone into these open arms. So you're just beginning to feel what it's like to offer your space, and then have someone, imaginary person, coming into that space. So just feel like you're holding the space of your arm and you're inviting somebody now with your imagination to come into that space. Imagining you're inviting them into that space between the hands, into that heart space. So just play with that as if you're welcoming someone in and you're taking them into that space. You can do this with the eyes closed and focus on one person that you'd like to bring in. It can be an imaginary person or a real person. And if it's, again, someone you don't know because you haven't met them yet, just make it up and bring them into that space, and imagining you're just inviting somebody into the space and you're taking them on a dance with you. So now that you have that person in your heart circle, just feel the same dance we were doing before around your space, and feel what it's like to bring someone with you in that space, in the heart circle. And so this time we're just going to let that person move away from our heart space. So you can just sit them in the chair, or you can just say thank you for the little entrance into your heart space, but they're going to go and you can come back to feeling your own connection with your heart space. So you can feel what it's like again to not have that person in the space. And just coming now once again to your own hands, feeling the connection with your heart center, feeling the space in front of the heart center. So that's a very quick exercise of how to feel your own center through the heart center, and to cultivate what might be a connection for yourself, and then how you might invite someone in and what it feels like when you're connected to your own heart center to have someone else in that space. We often do this with a lot of our social dances, so maybe you can practice, if you do salsa or any other couple dancing, How do you feel when you're in somebody else's arms and you're being held? How do you actually feel more of yourself? And then also feel that distinction between, okay, I am myself in somebody else's space. And as you let go of that person, you're moving on to another person that you're dancing with, or you're coming back to your own space, your own heart center, your own heart circle. So if you tried any of those exercises, I'd love to hear what you experienced. So let me know in the comments, and who, if you did bring someone into your heart circle, how that felt as well when you brought someone in. We're having the next Dance for Joy classes live and in person in Marrickville, Thursdays, May 2nd, we start at Amera's Palace. You can check out the links in the description below, and online as well for heart awakening and feeling that center part of your body and the energy body. Online classes on Mondays and Sundays in America, in the US. Thanks so much for watching.